Hello, Craig Howard here this morning. The sun is just starting to peek over the mountains. Just a few minutes ago, the sky was just beautiful red with all the clouds, the orange and reds, and it was just a glorious morning, glorious sunrise. But the temperature on my thermometer says it is 48, and it is chilly this morning, so fall is definitely here. But I woke up this morning thinking about the issue of friendships and what it means to be a friend, what it means to have friends. And I thought back to an article that I had read about this little village or little town in Pennsylvania. I forget the name of the town. It's primarily a Italian community, and in this community, the people are very close-knit. You know, they hang out together, they do stuff together, they cook in each other's backyards, they work together on projects around their homes. They commonly are back and forth at each other's homes, visiting with each other, and they just have this close-knit relationship. And the study that was looking at this town and the advantage of these friendships found that they lived longer. These people lived longer than the average because of the support and the love they had from their friends. I love living in a small community. I can go anywhere in town, and if I'm there just for a few minutes, I'm going to see somebody I know. I'm going to see somebody I'm acquainted with. They may not be my best friend, but they're people I know. I know about their family. I know who they are, and it's meaningful and important to me. That's why I love going to Guatemala. I'm going to be taking another group to Guatemala in June, and if you have any teenagers, any of you that are in camp, any of you campers that are watching this, or any teenagers that are watching this, if you want to make a trip with me on a mission trip to Guatemala, get in touch with me. But I love going down there in part because in the evening, after all the work is done, we'll walk up into the little village of San Juan, and we'll go to this little store called Super Kick. And we'll go and we'll buy a soda, or we'll buy a chocolate dipped frozen banana or something like that, and we'll just sit on the sidewalk and we'll talk to friends as they go by, or we'll go over to the little panaderia, which is like a bakery, and we'll get a donut or something like that, and we'll just sit there and just talk with the people around us, something that we don't do. But there's no TV, there's no video games to speak of. You know, people just hang out with each other and talk to each other, and that's the way they spend their evenings. And there's a joy about being able to do that. People go to one another's houses and visit. I don't know if you understand why that's important. I don't know if you understand what matters about that, but the Bible says in Proverbs 17:17, a friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for adversity. That a friend loves at all times. You know, true friendship, that friendship that hangs in there whenever you're going through the tough times, it hangs in there whenever you're enjoying special moments and enjoys those moments with you. True friendships invest time in you and invest time in the other person. It's priceless. It's not something you can ever quantify as far as its value goes. It's something that just always is precious. I read about a Harvard study where a group of men who went into Harvard back in 1937 they followed them throughout the course of their lives, and they found out that as these guys reached their 90s, that they reflected back over their lives, and they looked at the things they had accomplished. They looked at the things they had done, many of which were great accomplishments: political, social, financial, business, all sorts of things. They looked at all these accomplishments, and they said, of all the things that matter to us, of all the things that we want to remember, said it's our friendships that are the most precious to us. It's our friendships that mean the most to us. The friendships we've developed along the way, to them, were the most valuable things that we that they had. Now, why am I saying all this? I'm saying that to say this. Two things. Number one, value the friends in your life. Invest time into them. They are the most precious gift apart from your salvation. They are the most precious gift God has given you. The ability to be social, the ability to invest time in one another. Invest time in your friends. Yale did a study some time ago and said it takes 40 to 60 hours to develop a initial friendship, to move an acquaintance to a friendship level, and then it takes another, I think it was 60 to 80 hours to move to casual friendship, and then it took another like 120 hours to move into a best friend status, 120 to 200 hours of time together to move into a best friend status where you've shared experiences and shared time. And you say, well, why does all of this matter? Why are you so caught on friendship? Well, just this. The Bible says in Proverbs chapter 18, verse 24, a man who has friends must find himself friendly. That's important. If I want to have friends, I've got to be a friend. Basic principle. Pretty soon that sun's going to be hitting me in the side of the face here. I can see it coming across my deck. But if I want to have friends, I've got to be friendly. And then the second thing, there is a friend that sticks closer than a brother. Jesus Christ has invested a huge amount in you to be your friend. He is a friend that you can count on in every circumstance. He's a friend that's here for you this morning. If you're going through a bad time this morning, He's here for you. And you can trust Him, and you can believe in Him, and you can rely on Him, and you don't ever have to doubt if He's going to be there when you need Him. He's a friend that loves at all times. He's a friend that sticks closer than a brother. I read about a guy who was out with his friends one night, and they were getting into trouble, and they were drinking, and they got this crazy idea. They were in New Jersey, and they got this crazy idea to climb up on top of these trolley cars that were parked in the yard. Now, trolley cars run on electricity, and they got this idea they were going to climb up on top of these trolley cars, not thinking about the danger. And this one guy got up on the trolley car, and he got his arm with his watch on it too close to some electrical conductor, and it arced, and 18,000 volts of electricity blasted through his body. When his friends found him, he was laying on top of the trolley car. His feet were smoking. They got him to the hospital, and he fell into a deep depression after he lost both of his legs below the knee, and he was told they were going to have to remove his left arm also, where the electricity had hit his watch. It was going to have to be amputated below the elbow. The electricity had literally cooked those parts of his body, and there was no coming back. And he went into this deep depression thinking who would want anything to do with him anymore. You know, his life had been social, it had been built around his friends, and now he was going to become this, in his mind, this distorted view of a person. But the day that he was going into surgery to have his arm removed, he had hit the lowest point in his, and the hospital was worried that he wasn't going to make it just because of his depression, not because of anything physical, but because of his depression, that he was literally going to grieve himself to death. They started wheeling him down the hall to take him to the operating room. And his friends had showed up and literally lined the entire hallway of the hospital so that as he was wheeled by, every step of the way he saw a friend who was there for him, who was offering him encouragement. And the hospital said that more than anything else brought him through his surgery. There is a friend that sticks closer than a brother. I have had some great friends in my lifetime. A few are still around. Jerry Fenster, if you're watching this, he was my best buddy in high school, and when our family had to move from Indiana to Philadelphia, and I was so distraught over that move, Jerry asked his parents and asked my parents if he could move with us, and he literally moved with us. So I had a friend. Friendships are the most precious thing you have in this life. But there's nothing more precious than the friend you have in Jesus. I hope you value that today. Well, my time is gone and my battery's about dead on my camera, so I got to get off here. If this is a blessing to you today, pass it on to a friend. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit subscribe so that we'll know to continue to do these and carry these. In any event, I hope it blesses you, and I hope you have a friendly day today. I'll see you, I guess this is Friday, I guess I'll see you on Monday. God bless you. Bye.